What's good, y'all? It's good to be back. It's me, as always. It's been a while, 3 weeks to be exact. Episode 33. It's Andrew or Elixir.
Hello, the internet. It's perennially your boy, the Tommy and T, in need of a haircut and got a red eye flight in the morning, but we still make time for the pod.
What's good, y'all? It's good
Hello, it's me, reformed purple player. I no longer have to affiliate with that color. I am now back to my fucking roots as a green player. Get me out of EX 2.0 and playing LM format.
Like you're not like the most hyped for Leopardmon I've seen you in months, but like you're just green go wide instead of purple play guy.
Yeah, but like green guide is cool. Purple guy is just like, yeah, bro, draw one, trash one. Do you know how much I fucking had to say draw one, trash one like throughout the last like month?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I think the moisture in my mouse has decreased by overall 30%.
You gotta chow down on some Pomimons. You gotta eat that dragon fruit to get it back.
Yeah, get some celery in you. It's full of water. No, I think it's funny too because it's like evil Marcio played blue, but like purple Marcio was just like, man, that's kind of messed up.
It was
kind of stupid.
I was like, damn, I'm just like winning for no reason. And then I kind of got bored and I was like, please just get me out. I kind of got bored of winning.
Can't relate, but that's how we ball.
Yeah, I've been saying it to Tom for ages. I feel like once you have a certain number of delay options in your play area, like once your deck is like 15% delay option, instant mental boom. Because you're not playing Digimon anymore. You're playing like slow solitaires. Both of you go, okay, set delay pass, set delay pass, set delay pass.
Oh, but that's the thing, right? Playing Levia is like, ooh, I drew the Octomon. Okay, I'm going to wipe your security.
Yep.
Go ahead, pass it on the turn, see what happens.
Yeah, I think there are some cool cards in that color, and then the sad part is that some of the cards in that color are called something memory boost, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Sometimes I wonder if we should save some of the crazy takes for like mem gauge statements, or like at this point like sometimes I'll be just like testing stuff. I'll be like, man, you shouldn't be able to have multiple delay options in play at the same time. I wonder if that's a take I have, or is that just totally nuclear? Maybe I'll save it for the show.
Yeah, I agree. You should get one delay card per
name or something.
You're allowed scrambles. Scrambles are cool. They get the pass.
They get the pass for now because they're new. As soon as after 3 weeks, you can be like, oh, look at you not playing for your Digivolution cost. You think you're too good to pay Digivolution cost full, huh?
Well, it's like, I was thinking about it, unironically, I was thinking about it in the shower, and I'm like, well, okay, so like I can play out the training and then pay 2 now, then like search 2, and then on the next turn I get to evolve for free. But then I was like, but with trainings, right, I can pay the 2 immediately, evolve, and then have follow-up on the next turn. And they kind of create...
If you think about it, you scramble, and then the thing you play out is a searcher rookie, and then it's like you did the training backwards. Because you did reduce cost then search, which is kind of like,
but then some decks like, okay, so yesterday I spent a good amount of time just like testing Alliance because I was like, oh, Alliance with scrambles. And then one of my issues that I had with Alliance was like, I need this extra body, but like I can't get it on time. And then I was like, wait, I can just like empty board scramble and then I won't have anything on the board, and then I'll go start of turn, play out a body for free for me to Alliance with. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. We like those.
Yeah, scrambles have been funny. We're gonna be talking about LM today if you guys haven't figured that one out, because there's new things, new toys, new cards, tournaments in like, what's today, the 15th, tournaments in 3 weeks in good old Orlando, Swamp Town, Gator City.
If they're calling us what is it, EU Nats or whatever, what are we allowed to call them, like
American Nats?
American Nats? There has to be something funny, like European. I don't know.
I mean, they're gonna call it NA Nationals, which is still nothing, but that's
No, but I want to add the word. I want to make it like a Europe thing, right? They can be like outer Europe, like major.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Put some asterisks. Throw some asterisks on that thing.
We just call it Americas.
Americas. Yeah, but then there's like LATAM.
So, poor LATAM catching strays.
I think it's
Yeah.
also really funny.
Their finals are coming soon as well. Anyway,
I think it's also really funny that all the regions are playing like a slightly different format. I think that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, is OCE actually playing 2.5? I think
No,
I've
they're
seen
playing
that.
EX8. They're playing EX8.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be playing with
Yeah, they're really like they're
2.0
like end of
LM.
January.
Yeah, they're playing 2.0 plus LM plus EX8. Whereas
That's so crazy.
like NA is just playing LM and 2.0, and we played no LM, no nothing else. So
Yeah.
technically, OC will have the most sauce.
We'll see. I don't know how. I have thoughts on EX8 without the 19
Without
cards.
2.5,
Yeah. I have some thoughts on I don't think it's actually that sick right now. I hope you guys like Mother Control. Is all I'll say.
Mother Control, brother. I'm worried
Really
about
good in that. Really good in a BT19 list EX8 format. That Mother Control. Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm worried about like Medieval Gallantmon because like I'm seeing that card like everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Hey, it goes in Mother Control. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, but it goes in everything.
Yeah.
I've seen it in Lord Knight. I've seen it in Deep Savers. I've seen it in like
I tested
obviously
Nature
Zeph.
Spirits with it this
Guys,
week.
can you hear that? It sounds like it might be the new Death X.
Yeah, I'm hearing
Honestly, you might be onto something.
Oh man,
Dude, that's crazy that Jamie showed up. Like, I didn't even know he was in chat. I just saw an opportunity to take the shot, and he, frame one, was like, what if I announce myself?
Call his name and he shall appear.
But yeah, we're gonna be talking about some LM and some national stuff. We got varying results from the three of us. We had a good weekend in Utrecht. Beautiful city, fun time, great trains. The Netherlands, man, every time I get more and more sad that I don't have those trains in my life.
Yeah, obviously, like when I left the country last, it was to go to Jamaica. That's a holiday, that's whatever. But like going just an hour flight away and then coming back and going, damn, I get why people hate this country. Like, dude, not even as like all the bad things. It's just like just being here is like a miasma of color.
My guy, Tommy Tricks, slept through 3 alarms and 10 minutes of me and at Jambo TCG, Rena Strongest Soldier, banging on his hotel door, and he still caught his flight. That's how good the trains are.
So yeah, he didn't need to Uber. Like, he was chilling.
And chill, like, unbelievable.
He caught 2 trains.
He wanted to say the extra day, but you guys just didn't let him.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I think after making day 2, I deserve myself a little extra day.
Yeah.
But he did have a really, really good hot chocolate. Bro, they diff us in everything. I came back and I had a hot chocolate, like some fancy schmancy one in like the train station when I had to go down to London for Jay's like appointment thing. I was like, this is good. But
getting gapped by the airport.
Yeah. Random airport chain hot chocolate in the Netherlands went foolish. It's like, you know when you go to like an ice cream parlor and you can get like chocolate chips and you can like scoop it on? That was step 1 of the hot chocolate. He asked me like which type I wanted, like dark milk white. I was like, oh. And just scoop and then steamed milk over it. I was like, oh.
Yeah. That was a trip.
Better country, but you know, I do like my locals. I don't think I have it in me to like rebuild the locals out of thin air.
Yeah, I don't. Digimon's works like for all the things we talk about, like the card game. Is it more expensive? Is it dying? Blah blah blah. It actually, the only complaint I'll say is Digimon is expensive enough these days where I don't think I would do what I used to do, which was just give new players decks anymore. Like I think now we low key like have to have like a decks at locals box that we just have people borrow or whatever.
Yeah,
like that's how we built the scene back in the day. Was just like, hey man, try this one out. I hear you like Wargreymon.
It is fun because like some of them, at least when they're people that we know tangentially, it's like a, hey, you know, I want to play this kind of deck. And it's just like, all right, whose pet deck has been sitting on a shelf for 3 months and has a list they couldn't be bothered to test? Because we can throw it at a newbie and see what happens. It's great. I love giving people
I will say though, the game is definitely dying, guys, and we totally didn't have like 720 plus players, but the game is really dying.
Yeah.
And let yourself be fooled by the YouTubers of this world that are like, is Digimon die? You know, like Ransona type me.
Yeah,
like
for real.
I won't say any names.
Dude, actually,
I won't say any names.
We haven't actually like done a misplay episode since Nats, but like I wanted to say, shout outs to anyone that came up and said hello. It's always especially strange outside of the UK, I think, because like, for so much of like the runtime of the show, we were like, oh, this is a British Digimon show. We're like, we yap about what it's like playing in England and stuff like that, and that whole scene. But like, if you came up and said hi, it was really cool of you. I know Marcio always thinks it's funny when people recognize him from that, and then
How the fuck do you know me, bro?
it's
And then I'm like, you know what? I am on my podcast. Maybe, bro. Maybe.
Yeah, I want to say shout outs to the one guy who was like, hey man, I like Memgage. I like Memgage too, but we got to save it for stuff these days.
I like Lethal or Living, and you best believe 2025, it's coming back. It's coming back with a vengeance.
So hold on, side note, right? Tommy Tricks is like, I've been getting recognized by people as well, but like, bro hangs out in like 20 Discord servers.
Yeah, he's the Discord guy I know.
Yeah, he has actually like a problem. Like he can't stay away
just
from.
Won't log off.
Yeah, he just like won't fucking log off, and it's like, I'm getting recognized. It's like, dude.
Yeah, but it's
like,
funny. Like
some servers.
It's so funny. Like this is the second event I've been to now where it's not even just, oh whoa, you're the YouTube guy. It's how's X person from Fanboy. Like I've been asked, how's Emily's run doing when she was kicking ass on Armor? How's Johnny doing? Seb got recognized. Trix got recognized. Us three, we're sort of used to it. I got recognized by I responded to Andrew, Elixir, KNT. You're the YouTuber, right? The YouTube guy. And one guy pointed at this armor sleeves I was using. If I was more prepared, I'd have them on me. But I was using armor for the event. I had sleeves from Kai, shout out. And like the channel icon, like that OC is on there. They were like, oh, isn't that that's the YouTube guy's one? So I'd like, my character's sometimes more recognizable than me. It's really funny. It's cooked. Sleeves. It's like, oh, you're a fan of the YouTuber? Like, yeah, that's me. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's always a funny one. And then like, I think that the one that always gets me is like people who be like, oh, there's a lot of people over there. And then somebody will say something, they'll be like, I've heard your voice on the internet.
That happened to me actually.
Yeah.
I met there was like people that like a couple people that like I hung out with, like that I hadn't seen like in person for a while or whatever. But the one person that like in game was like, I feel like I know you somewhere, know you from somewhere, and then like I'm always like clueless. I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And then they're like, do you stream or something? I was like, no.
You're just like, nah, I don't do anything.
I don't stream.
Yeah, that was actually the fun thing. Valeska posted it in chat. Like I played their boyfriend, and he recognized me, but he didn't know where from. But it was from you and me casting an Ultimate Cup because he watches tournament streams but doesn't watch like YouTube content. So he knew me because of his partner, but didn't know where from, which was really funny. So it was like we're getting recognized from the podcast, from gameplay, from people that watch all the cool stuff that we put a lot of effort into. Please watch the bonus content when they come out.
But it was against shoutouts to Joker from the Radiant Trade like tournament organizing group. Because he was like, oh, what about like commenting? I was like, yeah, I've commented a few things. Because at first, right, you look at a name like nothing else, no whatever, just Bandai app Joker, and I'm like, okay, this guy like is like a society bro or whatever, right? It's like he like I don't know.
Society when Agumon.
Yeah, society when I'm ill. And then I didn't think too much of it, but like I remember like interacting with like Raid and Trade Joker, which is like separate from incel random like red pill
like what the Joker got stolen as.
Yeah. I mean the other third one, the Persona 5 guy,
PFP online.
So then he was like, oh, I'm Joker from like the Raid, like I'm part of like Raid and Trade like TOing, and I was like, oh, and then we talked a little bit about like I was like, we try our best to like do like a good show, and he was like, yeah, I really like what you guys do, like you guys are actually like really knowledgeable about the game, and like you put on like a great production and stuff like that. So that was pretty neat. But other than that, I was locked in. Okay, I was locked in for the rest of the day. This tournament, okay, Big 10 rounds. I had no shits. I actually ate throughout the day.
Wow.
And
you are like a fixed guy now.
Purple Marcio don't got them
what a
problems.
Blitz Omni does to a dude.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm locked in. I'm going to try and make fucking top 32. And I was pretty close. I was very, very close.
Purple Marcio is like me on antidepressants, he's kind of just like a flat line for like, there's no like round one Omega anxiety. And then like, he's like, if I throw this, I'll kill myself. No. It's just like, yeah, man, I'll try it.
See, I missed the prep call that we always do before the like, thing. Cause I was getting Jade her, I was getting her spectator one because we didn't get the pre-sign up, so I missed that, and I had to sit down for my round. Super nervous. I played into another YouTuber. He's like, instead of like a Digimon PCG YouTuber, he's an actual Digimon YouTuber, like German speaking.
Oh, okay.
So Digiritallian, he was really fun to talk to. All of my nerves went away just kind of chatting with him for like the 15 minutes it took to start round one. There were so many delays at Euros. Like, I would look over at overtime and see, you know, it's 5-minute overtime. I'd see 15 minutes on the clock and them still not calling round two. I went to piss 9 times in a 10-round event because I would just chance it in overtime because I was like, probably not going to start.
That was kind of like, that was very similar to me. Like, I actually didn't mind like the delays. It actually kind of helped because like I thought that I was going to get burnt out a lot more than I did, but I had been playing the deck for so long that it just felt kind of natural. I did misplay, but that's besides the point, right? Like, it was like round 2 or whatever. I was still like warming up. That's like, I would say the only time that I really misplayed, but throughout the rest of the day, I was fine. And it was pretty sick. I also didn't go that much into overtime, so you bet I was in that queue. Well, there wasn't even like a queue for the toilets.
Yeah, the AMAB toilets were very, very fast. Although some way through the day, one of them flooded, and that was hell. But
yeah,
besides
that was a dire situation.
It was bound to happen. But yeah, the tournament floor toilet was like, it was rapid. People were moving. It was great.
The space in general was like amazing. Yeah, I love that venue. Solid. I really hope they go back to it. Like if they can tell me that like every year we're going to Utrecht, I'm cool with that. I'll take it.
I actually think Utrecht is also like Den Haag was nice, but I think Utrecht was a lot more manageable for a crowd that size. Although I don't know necessarily if we're going to be looking at crowds like that again because of the whole like One Piece now requiring invites for Cardfest tier events going forward and stuff like that. So we'll see how that affects the scope and things. But
it is interesting
cool venue
because like when I think of like when I saw the announcement that was put out and was like the invite for, I was like, oh, that's really sick. I was thinking of it like you place well enough, you get an invite to like Worlds, not, you know, him turning around at the end of finals and going, some of you will not be in this room next year. None of us will, because they're actually moving Nats to January, so with everyone else, as opposed to playing in a fake format every year. Because I guess that's the other thing. If you didn't know, you know, this event has already happened. Scrambles were not out, and they weren't even available to like pre-buy. Like if you could have bought Scrambles, like if you could have bought LM at BCF instead of the memory boost, that would have been sick. I think our group got, was it 3 or 4 binders that we got? Because I know Harry got one.
I got one.
My house got 3 because I entered and I forgot to. I just didn't register that he wanted me to get one, so our house got 3.
I have one. Kai has one. Caleb has one. Harry has one.
Emily
has one. I don't remember.
Trix,
I think there's more. I think there's more as well. I
don't think Trix had time. He was too busy
he
winning.
Never got to sit up.
Johnny Defo has one.
Yeah, that's because Johnny 2-0s his opponents and sprints to the line. He's an animal. He's either going to draw or he's killing you in 5.
I think
how do we feel about invite? Let's say that like they turn our event, like our effectively like super major European final into like an invite type event. How do we feel about it?
I'm hopefully going to be casting, so I don't give a shit.
I think there's pros to it. I think it means that they could open registry earlier. Like if you get an invite, you obviously know you're going, so like they can start like making it less of a hassle the time of, you know, like that's the main upside, is that like the logistics get easier because the list of people who are going can get established as early as January. So like, you know, the Ulti Cups and stuff coming out in like 3 weeks could literally already be inviting people.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends on what events count as an invite, because like Ultimate Cups right now, obviously they have their, you know, alternate prizing or whatever, but
I feel like being rolled out more now though. So Ulti Cups are now coming to the Eastern format too, which is interesting. That's like the thing we're giving back to them, which I thought was neat.
My thing is like, I think for invites, I think top 32s should count towards invites. Like if you make top 32 at a regional event, like that should get you an invite, because like realistically, if it's only like top 16 onwards, the pool of players will be like quite small, and you need like you still need to fulfill like, you know, even if it's invite only or whatever, you still want like 500-ish people.
Yeah, because I think that's the main thing. Like we got to have the biggest events that we've had in Europe for both games, which I think is a really cool thing. And as much as obviously, you know, there's a limit to how much size you can have, I still think it's really healthy to have your final event of the year still be a thing. Obviously, it's kind of unfortunate that your invite doesn't, like, Does your invite give you the round 1 buy? Is that what a 2 round buy?
In the
Last
US,
year's NA did, yeah.
Yeah, I
'cause
think
in the US they abolished sort of like the invite only structure, but your invite was like you'd skip 2 rounds.
yeah, I
But
think that is fine.
The other complication to that is that there are multiple card fests in certain regions, right? So it's like we've had card fests in Asia, like Eastern Asia block already. We already had card fest Dallas. There will be more in Orlando. So like where they draw the line on what constitutes like a big enough events now that they're doing these global tournament series again, like this is the sort of thing that like I think we got they laid the foundation with the announcement video last week where they're talking about like here's what's coming out with unification, and then like if I was a betting guy, I'd say that like by I think April is BT21's release if I remember correctly.
Something like that.
Yeah, by April's release, we'll have more information. I would imagine. I think we'll have here's all of your global scale events. Here are the things that will be invite only. Here are the things that'll be open.
What's interesting to look at is if you look at the Bandai card, like the Bandai website right now, they have a section for large scale tournaments, and right now they have BCF and championships. Like there's none of the regionals. Obviously, it's just bad timing, but there's none of the regionals that used to have like this was your qualifier.
Left.
Yeah, so this is now like a chance for them to revisit kind of how they're going to approach this whole thing. So it'll be a brand new it's a brand new year. Everyone's getting on the same format. It's a chance for them to like just try something and hit the ground running. So I'm curious to see.
I'll be 100% with you guys here live in front of the audience. I would let national tier events completely wither and rot away for store regionals. If I had to take that trade, I'd do it 99 times out of 100.
You're crazy.
I would give those up for the ability to go to a regional every other weekend.
The problem is that right now, we don't know. Maybe post unification that would be possible, right?
Sure.
But I don't think I would necessarily trade like my end of the year like big event for like going to farm people's like store pricing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like as much as I like playing regularly, and that's something that like I'm going to try and get better about next year is like getting over myself in terms of like online events, and trying to just like enter more online events because like you can kind of tell that like some people are a lot more comfortable playing throughout the day based on like how much they grinded versus like people that had like more stakes in the sense of like they didn't have that constant exposure throughout the year. And like sometimes it was like basic things like one of my opponents just played into a Binding Crush. They could be a pretty good player, but like bro just played into a Binding Crush. And
I real shocked multiple people on promo Ukamon when it was just like that. Yeah, you're not getting that hatch. You took your memory. It's always funny when it's not the first Ukamon of the game and it's like BT16 with its hard hat on, completely helmet proof, just like you will not misplay with this card, and then they go to resolve the promo and immediately do it wrong. I'm like, oh, GG. That was your off turn.
I don't know though. I think it depends. Like also like online Digimon is not my favorite thing. I'll do it if it's the only thing that I could do to play an event, but like I would always rather have go travel to a thing, go play a thing.
I think something that's really important is we need these. I want more coverage. I'm happy to see more store regionals if there's just more coverage, because that's the thing that I think the game really loves. Some of the biggest content creators across all regions are pushing for like more people to get stuff out there. And I think the store regionals are a great way to highlight a store, a scene in a region, because then you can actually start, like, because obviously, there's a little bit of cross-pollination where we see Europeans come over to England, we travel out to some of the biggest events, but when you have the ability to, not have to book 4 days off work to, fly to a different country to do an event, but you can still compete at something that means something, I think those being there and then just being more footage out there that people can review. Stats, I think, are obviously really important to a game, and just kind of getting to see the health of a scene and kind of like how you start getting repeat numbers. I think being able to have the opportunities to run the events means there's more opportunities for things to get covered. And hopefully with more events getting covered, each of the different areas start to get their different voices, which I think is really important, because there are a lot of places and TOs that aren't fully interconnected with the resources that are available outside of their scene. And I think that was something that was kind of on display this weekend. It was kind of the feel that was kind of going on. It's like whilst we as a community tend to know a lot of people probably don't know the names of any of the TOs. Like outside of maybe the name of the organizing like group, we had OPE and No Heroes there. And if you didn't go to events run by either of them, you probably didn't know we had two TOs, like two TO groups running all of these games in Utrecht and working together as like this big unit plus a bunch of volunteers. So there'll be people that just, we recognize faces or we recognize names because we work with them. But there will be so many people that don't know that. They don't know, they don't know why Yor was casting finals. They don't know that he's been carrying the scene on his back for months, doing everything that he can to get us three idiots in front of a camera, sometimes paying for it himself, just so there will be a stream. So like, there'll be things like that where I think the more opportunities there are at a store level means there's more opportunities for even up and coming creators to just become more regular names, and it just gets rising tide raises all ships. And we don't need One Piece level support. It'd be nice, but I think with us having more regionals, we will get to put us in more places, but also other people that maybe don't get a shot. Like if there's only 4 regionals a year and you've got to fight, me, you two, Agito, Yor, Risu, like all of us have, like, because Risu is an EU commentator if we hit the bottom of the, like, if everyone's available.
Yeah, he'll do a late night.
And the fact that we're picking up NA guys because there's no other available casters, I think if people get a shot at a lower level, there's a chance they can move up into quote unquote tier 1.
It'd be interesting to see, but again, like, I think the other overwhelming takeaway I get after finishing Bandai Card Fest in Utrecht is just like everything is on an up right now. Like it feels very like compare this to this time last year, and like sentiment feels entirely different. So the vibe is good. I've seen a lot more Doom posting from One Piece players than Digimon players, and you guys have my support. You have my commiseration. But hey, listen, what goes around goes around. You'll get through it.
I think it's just a case of like we know where like we stand. I think like the community is like pretty content with like knowing that like okay, like in terms of the game like blowing up, that won't happen. We're getting like a slow like gradual uptick. We know that like we're getting long-term support. We know that like unification is like a thing that will, I wouldn't say like draw a ton of people in, but it'll definitely put like more eyes on the game. We are getting like English like release posts on like new cards.
It's crazy.
It's
shout outs to Rust Marrow because like bro might be out of a job, but like
he held it down for like 2 years. Oh, he still snuck a promo translation in earlier this week.
When it's the Chinese region, he's always coming through.
He's like, I got that one. That's on me.
But like it means that maybe he can do like more of his like actual content that he wants to do.
Bring back the tabletop simulator videos.
But the other thing is like, as I was saying, with like we know that like where the game stands, and it's weird, right? Because like as much as I would love for store regionals to like be a thing, and trust me, I really would like to be able to go to like a neighboring city or whatever, go up and down the country playing at these store regionals like every other weekend. We don't really know like how Bandai feels about it. Like I think the producer of the English game was there, and I'm actually I got to like speak to her about like this exact thing because this is the thing that I would want the most.
We spoke to her twice.
That must be nice. Didn't even tell me.
Yeah, I don't know where you were on Sunday.
On Sunday, I was chilling.
Yeah, no, we were networking. So if you see me on a screen, you best believe that.
Hey, shout out, that was sick.
Yeah, shout out was super sick.
Nice dude.
I haven't put his interview out yet. I will be putting it out soon. Shout out to Soy, Jorge for just doing an interview. We got
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, we're getting mugged by Mickey Mouse and Ray.
Crazy. Shout out to Jambo for being like actually kind of our agent for like 2 hours. What a guy.
But I was also saying, like I would like to speak to the producer about like this exact thing, and we'll see if like maybe they were happy with how the Seoul regionals were like ran in NA enough to like expand like that particular area. But if we don't have that, that's not a thing that I'll be like, game dead. We don't have store regionals, right? It's like, well, they're pretty much just keeping it like a very like select. They're keeping it very they're very selective with how they're going about it, right?
I think
Yeah, for
21
sure.
is going to be a really big indicator. I think this game had a couple of break points that were like make or break for the game. Like obviously, you know, we try to be super positive about it, but there'll be people that, you know, quite fairly can be doomer about it. But I think the game has managed to weather some really important storms. Like the EX3 BT9 era was a hop off point for a lot of people. Same with, you know,
Whoa.
Cross Heart not making things better.
More like hop on,
the
it was
biggest
peak Digimon.
the all-time biggest exodus I ever saw any player base hit for any format in any language for Digimon ever was when the Eastern format just never got its ban list, and they played through Full Power, Cross Heart, Black War Gray, and Grandis, like that triangle. That was the least I've ever seen anyone have fun in Digimon ever.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
so,
like,
That format is like maybe the worst one ever.
it's
what
like
did,
that was
Luke's
really
like,
bad.
what did he miss? He missed everything. The stream's
We're
almost
just,
done.
we're just talking about Cardfest was sick. We're just manning the podcast. We're taking Bandai down with us.
we're buttering up our audience for our upcoming segment, basically.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is like the fact that 2.0 was not a repeat of SR 1.0 and 1.5, I think is massive for the game. I think because like obviously the game released in a really turbulent time, stuff was hard to get, things were expensive. People were really worried, myself included, that 2.0, especially as the game was starting to trend more expensive, was going to be a massive like block point for people like either hopping off and giving up because, you know, releases were coming out fast. You really weren't getting time to play meta, especially if your shit was delayed. So
yeah, that was like the biggest thing.
Like delays were really bad
year.
for us this year, but just like 2.0 being, you know, so many SR hits, reasonably priced, you know, the secret hits are really like if you weren't getting like secrets are split across 4 hits, but you still like I've got too many Zeds now. Like it's a good problem to have because the card's good. I think SR 2.0 has been absolutely brilliant. The EX8 looks fantastic. 2.5 in theory should be good in terms of hits and just pulling things. And then 21 is like another chance for them to really revisit kind of like what they're doing for the new year and like unification. I think they've done basically everything they could do right when it comes to the distribution side of, well, when it comes to the product design and kind of like how they're going to get cards into people's hands. The things that, you know, you can complain about are things that technically are outside of their control. Like they pick their distributors and their distributors, unfortunately, are ass. But like the production team, they've been killing it. Like I was really worried about this set and I've almost wanted to pull on 2.0. I cannot afford to yet. But 2.0 was a set that I probably would have dropped money on, even with boxes now costing more in the UK.
They're worth it now.
I mean, yeah. For the special boosters, like, you know, this one was like a good sort of like comeback because everybody was like a little bit worried. But I think like 2.5 will probably be even better just because like 2.0 was sort of like a very weak set. Even though we got cards ahead of time, and I think like that was part of the reason why some decks got to flourish a little bit. Like Levia getting access to like the Lord Knight as a tech option kind of helped. At the same time, Armor getting, not just Armor, but a lot of decks getting access to the Huan Kun kind of helped. But on paper, like BT 18 is like relatively low power, and like 19 gets carried by like the other half of stuff as opposed to the half that we got.
Yeah, 19 is an ass set, but
I think it's also weird too because it's like one of the things that was especially strange about BT18 was that like in its own results, it actually wasn't that bad. It just kind of gets jobbed by everything they brought forward from 19. Yeah, like the hybrids really don't want Magna to be good, but like made Magna good. So it's like it's a very strange relationship.
I think it's also the fact that like we were much quicker to realize that like Hexablau kind of solos a lot of like the one attacking hybrid decks.
Hexablau was underpowered or underrepresented, and Lord Knight was overrepresented, and that caught on relatively quickly.
Yeah. So. Can we talk about how I've been saying that Lord Knight was complete cheeks and the deck did not convert?
Go find the clip where I called him Fraud Nightmon X Shamty Body.
I was right.
Yeah, shout out to Yuxa going first place in Swiss.
Yeah, that was sick. It was a good run.
It was good to also meet him in person. It was really cool. Yeah, shout out to Marcio for killing one guy on the correct list and being so incredibly wrong about a different topping list.
Wait, what do you mean?
You were so wrong about the hybrid packaging birds. You were trying to talk Tricks down off of that shit for weeks, and then he turns. It was literally the last week. I'm just like, oh fuck, Marcio though. He's like, you're right, and then he just takes the list.
Listen. Okay, hear me out. Okay, my thing. I never doubted the capabilities of like,
Ancient Grey is a good
2
card.
checks. Okay. I said that, like, yes, arguably getting the 2 checks like on turn 2 is great. My problem was that they felt like the list was just stuck doing that. It couldn't do if you watch like Trix's games or like you hear about his games, he's never talking about resolving Phoenix X. He's just like, yeah, I swung for 2 checks with Ancient Greymon, and then I went Garuda. Like in the discussion, he wasn't like. Phoenix X was just like a luxury, right?
He was just using it for rush. It was not doing donuts.
No. He was just like, okay, here's my like aggro deck, literally like mid-range hunter. Like, okay, here's like Savannah. What's the lion called?
Savannah Hyman, my king.
Yeah. Savannah Hyman on turn 2. Okay, you take 2 damage, and then I'm gonna go Garuda. You know, it's just like cool. And I'm like, I mean that works. That's insane. But like birds, it's like, you know, it was just really well positioned. Like he cooked, but not me though. If it was me and I took his list, I got paired into Galaxy round 1. I would have gotten straight up smoked. So you know, confirmation bias or whatever.
Yeah,
I just knew that I wouldn't be able to. I knew deep down, I was like, there was a higher power stopping me from playing birds.
The higher power was your.
The thing is, you should have come to me for the pep talk that morning, because I told Trix that his round 1 was going to be the freest thing he ever played against, just to gas him up. I was like, Tom, you'll play against like Commandramon or something. And this is at like 7 a.m. at the hotel breakfast. He comes back to me at like 9:45. He's like, you're not going to believe it.
Yeah, he hit D Brigade. D
Brigade, and he went off to the races.
I knew he was favored into purple, but man, did I not understand how badly that deck mauled like purple hybrid until he was like, I understood it kind of, but it wasn't until I was like seeing
there's nothing
they
can do.
Yeah,
no,
it's
you can watch. You can we have Jambo literally on suicide watch, being like, I can't beat Phoenix Mon. There's literally the game of like me versus Jambo. He's playing like Thundergun or whatever, and it's like kind of the same idea. It doesn't matter what they do, you just win. Like the deck wants to delete you, and you go, okay, on deletion, I win. Right? It's that easy.
Yeah, it's crazy that Trix was on a 5-0 streak and hit first place at Nationals to break that streak. Like, they literally had to put the guy who was going to win the tournament just to stop him from, you know,
6-0ing.
We could have been so annoying. Like, we're already annoying. We're kind of even more annoying because one of our guys made day 2. But we would have been so annoying.
I'm just glad the cult jokes get to keep going, man. It's worth it. It's worth it just for that.
That's the thing with that deck, right? It's like it wants to just hit meta. Like, you go like round 1, round 2. Okay, here's like something a little bit awkward. And then like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like you're just like meta. Like the more purple they give you, the better your run is gonna be. But
yeah,
like
for sure.
He played against like, I don't know how many Mirages he played against, and even then like it's not like the worst. Like Hexa is like more annoying than anything. But it's like, while Hexabla was sort of like a breakout card for the event, it was mostly being incorporated as a tech, right? It wasn't like some decks would be able to put up like, you know, the first Hexaball, maybe the second, but like that was kind of it. And also like Imperial was sort of like on a downtrend. Like Imperial, even though it got second, most people were under the assumption that like Imperial just wasn't that well positioned, like into some of the decks that like we were expecting to do a lot better, like Levia. Like Levia just stomps Imperial. Angels like being another like deck
Angels was way more represented than we thought.
Well, no. I think
What's this weave?
No, like we knew it was good, but I didn't think as many people were going to take it.
It was the best yellow deck in the game.
Yeah, but yellow's yellow. So I was like, we were all we in this call all believed in Angels, but we thought it was, you know, I was not expecting to be looking left and right every so often and be able to see an Angels in like, you know, looking distance. Like I was expecting there to be 5 Angels players in the room, of which we brought one of them. And instead it was just like, every other table there was a fucking guy resolving Magna Angemon make Domini, make thing Cherubimon. Any response?
I
it was
can't
pretty
relate.
popular, like,
Down in the X3 Wastelands, it was all purple hybrid.
like it was the kind of deck that like every sort of like row, right? Because like if you were a U-Turk, you kind of knew like the setup, but like your top tables was like one row, then X1 was another row, then X2 was another row. Like every sort of row had like at least 2 to 3 like angels. I would say like closer to 2, because like it's the deck that like low representation, high conversion. That was like the main thing.
Seemed like
with
people
that deck.
pulled their Patamons and got their homie a good run out of it.
Yeah.
And like the coolest thing I think about the deck, right, is like the deck loses to the Digivolve, but like what the Digivolve decks are out there, like unless it's some like random person on D Brigade, I don't see like another deck that would have a mass amount of Digivolve. A lot of the Digivolve decks would be like, okay, I do it the one turn, but most of the time I'm not OTKing you. And then like they would still get aced because like, okay, you deal with one guy, but what about the guy next to it, right?
I think it's crazy too, because like one of the main kind of like expectation I think a lot of people had was that like there was a lot of belief in Lord Knight and it didn't convert, and like there's another purple black digivolving deck that has fallen off the truck recently that would do really well against a lot of the angels that have been being played. And that deck is just that is Dexter Goromon.
I thought you were about to say Dark Knightmon.
Oh, sorry. No, well, I don't even get me started on Dark Knight. I actually low-key think it would have done pretty good in a format with no scrambles, but we're not going to go through this.
No, that deck converted like ass. There was Lord Diamond. They were just only in the bottom tables.
I'm talking about Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Diamond. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I guess Dark Knight still uses Lord Knight, but yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I mean, it can use Lord Knight.
No, but
my point is, I think people got tunnel visioned on like, oh, what's the Digivolve in the format, and everyone was like, I guess it's Lord Knightmon. It must be good. But in reality, there were other maybe more viable Digivolving piles that just like weren't necessarily.
I don't think you can take it though. I just don't think you can take it because Hankin solos that entire list. Like Harry, like
I would never choose to play that deck. I want to be so clear. Okay. I just don't think people should have carried the Ghost along with them and brought Lord Knight. I just give up the Ghost, dude.
Wait, what are we talking about? Like Dark Knightmon?
We're talking about Digivolve being fake.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And like the Digivolve archetypes that saw experimentation, we backed the wrong horse. As a community, we backed the wrong horse. We should have seen what happened with D Brigade going on a run and committed to some D Brigade Andes. We should have trained up the special forces and sent them to the Netherlands. We should not have let Lord Knight talk around like, listen, have you seen my 60 euro alt-art?
No, I agree. I think like Gora is like a good talking point. I think like the deck didn't really get any worse, right? Because like Mirage,
its matchups are weird. It doesn't want to play against the hybrids.
No, right. Well,
Red hybrid kind of claps it out, no?
Yeah, because you shoot it first.
Yeah, you shoot it and then you evolve and then you digivolve them.
Only by one. That's the first.
No, you digivolve by 3.
Yeah, but then you put them back on a tamer. That's the problem.
No, but it's like selective.
The really annoying part is that like you can bluff it too. So like depending on what the first source you stack underneath is, if they can either put you back on a tamer or they can let you go like, oh shoot, I guess I'll digivolve you past the tamer because it's not a level 3.
No. I'm talking about like turn 1, right? They'll go like raise Aguni swing, right? Going to
like an ancient Greymon. Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah.
Like you just go okay, evolve from trash, like Digivolve block, and then you stabilize, and then you have the Gorus like kill. Like I think like as a black blocker deck with Tamer Hate and the Digivolve, it was probably decently positioned.
It probably would have done well into like the purple hybrid slot that was there.
The Imperial matchup's still really bad.
All the blue decks.
Imperial matchup is fine. A bit worse without scrambles, but like very playable.
The scramble was really important for it.
Still, because like okay, you can always go after like if they go like Daiken turn 1, you're happy to just like commit and pop the Daiken. Like it doesn't matter that you're passing like an amount of memory. It's like what are they going to do? Slam like the bodies? Gora Imperial was never really the issue. I think it's just like
it was armor and Mirage that were the problem. And
Mirage is like the main thing. Like with the Huan Kun meaning that you can be blocked.
And armor as well. Like it was big. The fact that you can't redirect the thing at all just means that like 2 of the most represented blue decks in the format could just ignore your entire game plan. And I think that's like too much of it. Like you can't You can't go to Europe and go, I'm going to dodge all the blue players. Unless you're tricks.
The thing that you do have though is that the deck gained a very, very powerful tool in the form of the Shadow Seraphi. Like on paper, if you like working on the matchup off the top of my head, right? If you let the Mirage player like raise and try to like do their shit, first of all, you're under Dormon protection, so they can't bounce you at 5. So your Greymon always sticks. And then even if they go into the unblockable Huan Kun, they swing and then you go Shadow Seraphi. And that's like a very, very favorable trade. The problem after that is that you're on Shadow Seraphi and not
on that thing that can float from trash.
Yeah, not on a thing that like unsuspends and stuff. But as a stabilizer, it's probably pretty good.
I don't know. This is my point though, is that like I think there was a certain amount of like I think it's a unique problem that maybe we should expect to see again come 2.5, or like these combined sets have kind of an artificial meta game. And people were like, well, plug and play, BT19 made Lord Nightmon really popular. So people just all went to Lord Knight. But I think there are for lots of colors, like Marcy and I have talked about this on the podcast, I think. There was a period of time where we tested a Tommy Himi hybrid list.
Yep.
And the more I sit with a non-LM blue hybrid format, the more I actually think it might have been pretty good. Like some of the testing I've had messing around with it, on different simulation and paper play and stuff, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, Tommy Himi plus Hexaball really did answer 95% of the game. And so we're gonna learn come 2.5 again that I think people are gonna gravitate to the like known quantities, and maybe the like underexplored archetypes will show their heads up. I think
you said something there which was basically like the artificial metagame, and I kind of agree with that in the sense that like people didn't really want to like mess around. Like on paper, there were like a couple things that would have been a little bit more viable, but like anybody at top tables kind of like gravitated towards like where you saw like a top 32 in terms of like, okay, like we knew Mirage was good.
Takamika, Mirage, purple stuff.
You're good there, Henry. You look like you're tweaking.
Yeah, no, sorry. When I double checked the stream on Twitch, it was saying the offline thing. I was like, oh, we've just been offline for ages. We have not. We're chilling.
Yeah, so it was like people knew that Mirage was going to be good. Takemika was going to be good. We in our circle knew that Angels was going to be good. Purple Hybrid was going to see play. Red Hybrid, that deck is complete garbage. Red Hybrid is terrible, but people still entered me and whatever. I'm not going to get heated over Takuya role players. But what else converted? Imperial was like, even though it was like on a downtrend.
It was still popular enough that I don't think you could say it converted well, but like
I think the only like shocking
performed well.
I think the only like shocking / like that's kind of weird is the lack of armor. Like armor
made day 2, it just didn't make top 8, which I think is relatively consistent. I'm pretty sure, an armor player day 2, they top 16. Like they made it through the first round.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. Never mind. Okay, yeah, so it's like we basically knew what the meta was going to be, and I think people didn't really want to gravitate from like what we sort of like understood. Like there was no point trying to like bring something that sort of unexpected when you knew what like the metagame was going to be. People kind of just picked their comfort deck or what they thought was like the best position thing.
It also didn't help that a lot of the pet decks kind of got scouted in the last 2 events. Like the Ultimate Cup that we did and the Ultimate Cup that I did with Agito, both kind of blew the whistle on, like, if you weren't woke on Angels, you certainly were after the Ultimate Cup we casted. If you didn't know that D-Brigade actually had an auto-win matchup against Purple Hybrid,
you now know.
Yeah. Like there were a couple of like also armor being so incredibly represented at every level. Suddenly it's like, it has been 3 months. Most people do have a playset of Magnamon X's if they really needed them in time. And the prices aren't as ridiculous anymore. So like armor suddenly going from like the, hey, yeah, if you want to break the bank or, you really love resolving armor cards, cool. Deck's been hit. Were you, are you still hit with it? A lot of people were hit with it. Being unblockable certainly is, does fix a lot of this deck's problems.
For that deck in a big way.
Yeah. I think like even though I would consider it to be like a boring metagame, it was blue-purple with like a splash of a couple things. Like it's like whenever blue-purple exists,
I think yellow overperformed, and I think to a certain extent purple underperformed.
Lucemon did way better than it should have.
Well, I think Lucemon is complicated. I think there are parts of what made like
that deck doesn't do anything.
We've talked about this a couple times. Lucemon definitively has now got a result that I think merits further testing, which is this. I think I don't want to speak for the whole of like our collective group or a general take amongst the Digimon community, but from my experience piloting it and having giving people access with it, the thing with Lucemon is sometimes it's just too tanky. Sometimes it really does just have 12 security in a game. And
if you lose game one, that is a real problem.
Yeah. So in a tournament setting, it presents a challenge where it's like an optimized list can do well, and the Berlin list, as people who have not seen it already, you can go find it. DTCG Berlin, you can go check it out. The list is good. It's fun. It's fundamentally very sound because it plays into the strengths of the archetype. It knows what it's going for. The trade-off to that is that like it is I think it's kind of shown its hand already. I would be very surprised to see another Lucemon perform anywhere near this well again until it gets its dedicated Liberator support. But it is a demonstration of like we've had a lot of purple tempo for a very long time, and it's been kind of since Setcon Pete's World Championship win with like a purple yellow Setcon. It was a yellow purple Setcon, but and so we've had something like that. That this is it's a control deck in those colors, which are currently quite powerful, where it was able to represent its gameplay plan in a much more like linear style, which makes it better over a long day than other control decks. So we've talked about this on the podcast. Control decks have to skew the risk reward in their favor, otherwise they're not viable. And Demon Lords adjacent decks like this, where they have a kind of like built-in like I win the game if this goes too long, are like the way to go for control. So I think if you guys aren't up on your Liberator hype, we're not going to be getting the Lucemon stuff in 2.20 or in 2.5. Believe BT20 is like kind of full up already.
Yeah.
But I think there's an actual chance we get Lucemon in 21. So poor North American players who, what does it cost, like 400 USD to get a Lucemon list right now?
It's rough.
You guys, you have my sympathy. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's the last you've seen of Lucemon for right now. But also, I think the deck is better than people thought.
It was really funny when I was playing in my like top 128 bubble game in round 10. The table next to me was purple hybrid Lucemon, and the guy sat down before the round. He said, "I'm technically undefeated today," and we're like, "Well, you're on the wrong table for that." And he's like, "Yeah, I have X number of wins, and the rest were all draws, no losses." And then he flipped the first egg and then played the Lucemon. And then me and my opponent looked at each other and went, "Oh, okay, now it makes sense."
Yep.
And they're just like, it was light hybrid as well, so it wasn't like going for as aggressive a mill. And we just kept making jokes, just like, glad I'm on this table, not that one.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a fun event.
Nice, baby. It was a good time. Shouts Cardfest. Thanks to everybody who came and said hello to any of us. This time next year, it'll be these two on a microphone. So you'll be
January.
Well, no, you'll be announced presumably by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Whoa.
You'd think, right? On the 15th of December.
As much as I like casting, okay, and I like casting the regionals that I don't attend.
If they email you, your ass is not saying no. Shut up. That's crazy.
And if it does,
Marcio is a content yapper, but I'm not even gonna let him have that one. That's crazy.
No, that is
you get an email from Mr. Bandai, you're putting a tie on.
You get an email from Mr. Bandai. Emily's like losing your deck on purpose.
That is true.
She's gonna be a paid agent.
This is the goal, right? This is the goal.
Speaking of losing decks, gentlemen, I've lost all of my Digimon cards, and I lost them all. Something happened at the Amsterdam airport. They're all missing. And I've been looking for something to do for the holidays because I'm like a little bit like down on my card games. I would love to, but
we have no more events.
Somebody came by and they were like, "Oh man, sorry about all your missing Digimon cards. Here's a cool sticker of Bushi Agumon." And I was like, "Thanks, but I'd like my cards back. Is there anything you can do to give me some cards to play with for the holidays?" And I texted Andrew Marcio chat. And I was like, "Guys, all my cards are gone. What do we do?" And then we got a third thing that makes the segue seem good.
Yeah. So it was, we hinted it was in the tweet. If you saw the tweet, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, I hit that at 8 o'clock on the dot, by the way. How professional.
That was clean. It was super clean. I immediately picked up what you were putting down. I'm going to be picking up a really, really big box. Big thank you to the gang over at Elestrals, because This episode is not sponsored. I just want to make that very clear. But
That's
it
an
is
FTC crime.
yeah, this is in part thanks to the peeps over at Elestrals. They reached out. And now we're going to be trying a little bit of Elestrals content on the channel. Obviously, Digimon's still going to be our main focus. But Misplay for Game, we've always kind of been like, hey, we're technically a TCG podcast. We just all play Digimon. So, you know, I'll be doing a little bit of Elestral stuff as well. They sent me some really cool stuff. I have not been able to play the game yet, and I have been kind of like loosely following it. It's a TCG content creator led team, like a team that have been like growing and putting out content. People have been really enjoying the game. Marcio was super hyped about this and has already done the Black Friday stuff.
So let me catch everybody up, okay? Here's the thing about Elestrals, right?
Talk to him, K-Beads.
Here's the thing about Elestrals, right? Elestrals is really cool. Mostly because I don't think like anybody is like, I'm quitting all my games and like playing Elestrals or whatever. Elestrals is like really cool for like, I wouldn't say like a side game, but like for its own game, right? We're not like quitting Digimon and like becoming Elestrals content. It's just like Elestrals. It's just like another game that I've recently started really enjoying. Okay. It's not like I'm quitting Digimon and I'm quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm whatever. No.
I'm moving to the mountains.
The game is really good as like a thing to play because like in my house, sometimes it's like, why do I want to play Digimon with the people that I live with? We're just going to like run like different matchups and go, yeah, that matchup sucks. That matchup sucks. That matchup sucks. But as like an almost board game style experience, you know that I'm been playing some Elestrals, okay? We got sent stuff. I placed an order, but it's not here yet. But I've been watching like a ton of stuff, so I'll be able to give people the quick rundown. And yeah, when Andrew got the email, I was like, "You are going to say yes? Oh my god, yes, please! I just need Elestrals, okay? I just need Elestrals, guys."
Yeah, so they sent us a full box. I'm not sure what the full term is for it, if it's like the full collector's box, but I have
they sent you
a
creator clash. I think it's called like a clash box or something.
2 starter decks came with this one.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, are these the ones that you also picked up?
Yes, funnily enough, me and Emily picked those up as well. There's a couple of
Mr. Streamer. Hey, you want to hook your buddy up?
Yes, sir. I do want to hook a buddy up because I know you had your eyes on a particular critter that me and Tom
I love a dinosaur, Andrew.
Everybody lock in because this is sick. Okay.
Yeah. So Jade opened this because I sent the picture with banana for scale, and the boys were like, "Yo, this box is crazy." Jade did not know about the box, so she was like, "What did this asshole buy?" And thankfully, I did not. But she opened it, so I got to see a little bit of what was inside, which is the big box, which also comes with 2 full hefty sets of Daybreak.
2 Daybreak boxes?
Yeah, 2 Daybreak boxes, and then we have 4 of the blister packs. No, 5. No, 4. 4 of the blister packs for the new set as well.
Okay.
But also, the coolest thing.
Did he send you a plush?
I now have a new addition to my officially licensed goofy-looking mascot collection. The Nahobino from the SMT5 is somewhere in a room, but this guy, I don't think he's supposed to be this flat. But if he is, he was designed perfectly. And if he wasn't, evolution is a wonderful thing, and I think being designed to be flat is, good for the health of my heart. So I would kill everyone in this room if something bad happened to Sundial. And he is in the starter deck. So you'll be seeing some starter deck content plus the stuff that is pulled from this. I don't know if I'm going to do an unboxing. Our stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited because obviously some people have seen that I've done some other content with other card games. They don't always perform as well, and I was very upfront with them about it, and they've been really, really cool about this, really transparent, no strings attached. I'm going to give Elestrals a fair shot coming into this one as someone that has played actually a reasonable range of card games. With Digimon's the only one that I've not true. Digimon and Vanguard are the only ones I've taken super seriously. So I'm really excited to just try something new and be trying it with friends that are all getting into it as something new and kind of seeing if this is a new passion that kind of comes up. Obviously, it being a new IP is a really, really interesting position to be in because it takes a while. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yu-Gi-Oh! So they can make 3 million OCs and they get away with it. If you're not backed by Bandai is a great example. If you don't have an IP that carries,
People care
you're
about-
in
yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
Like Battle Spirits does well in Asia because Battle Spirits has an anime. Battle Spirits Saga is like, you know, deader than dead.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it's doing something. It like we joked about at the Bandai Card Fest on the main stage, they had 2 long banners for the new Dragon Ball game and for One Piece. And then they had 2 titchy banners for the old Dragon Ball game and Digimon. And we're like, just indicative of how Digimon was. Battle Spirits was a banner off to the side that was on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you make up your own OC. So I'm really excited. I mean, the designs are really, really strong for this one. I love Legally Distinct Solgaleo. He's my goat.
We out here, we like an indie developer as well. So it's cool to see indie games holding card games. Elestrals has a lot of fans. So
yeah, we're really excited to give it a go.
Let me give you let me give you the quick rundown. Right? So everybody know A Drive?
Yes, sir.
I don't, not personally.
Streamer,
not personally.
YouTuber,
Nice.
Yeah, I'm in a chat with him. Yeah, he
seems a good fella.
Yeah. So A
Does a lot of
Drive.
charity.
So for context, everybody lock in, by the way, okay? Everybody lock in because I'm really excited about Elestrals. Okay, I love Elestrals. Like it's like my new obsession. I almost like threw my Nats testing just to play Elestrals.
Yeah, we had to leave this at home. This arrived before we went to Utrecht, and I had to message the group. It's like I'm not bringing it because I know we're going to all scrub out if I bring it to the hotel.
Okay, so you guys know Maximilian Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we go way back.
Okay, you know, like the guy with the eye and he like makes the cards.
Yeah.
A Drive is basically Maximilian Pegasus. Okay, he shows up to tournaments with stuff that's unreleased. Never takes people's prizing away because he knows he's just doing it for like promotion and to like get people excited. But he pulls up to tournaments and he's like, "Yo, check out these new cards." He bodies people with new stuff and then leaves. Okay, he's the guy.
That's sick.
You know in
That's
FTC where they do thug finals and after you beat grands and then like one of the tournament organizers just walks in, he's like, "No, I need more testing data." He's just watching people.
So the other thing, right? Because there's no like sponsorship or whatever, I'm going to be like honest about like the game because there's things that I really, really like and there's only like a few things that I don't super like. For the gameplay loop, so for people that don't know how the game plays out, pretend that it's primarily like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, like summon a guy, set some back row, punch the opponent's guy, okay? It's majority of the game is played like that.
Awesome, dude.
But it does the thing that people always talk about, which is like, man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Such bullshit combo game, blah, 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 combo. My opponent doesn't get to play. I win the game. Not in Elestrals. In Elestrals, you have a resource which stops all the stinky combo decks from just like comboing all over the place, okay? And that's your spirit deck. For people that have played Force of Will or Magic the Gathering, the easiest way to describe a spirit deck is like your lands, but they exist in a separate deck.
It's closer to charge in Buddy Fight then, probably.
Yeah, if you play Force of Will, it's literally also just like the mana stones from Force of Will. It's like separate resource that exists in its own deck. So it doesn't clog up your opening hand or whatever. And every action that you take will cost you cards in your spirit deck. Now you might be like, okay, how do I win? Are there life points? There's no life points. Basically, you want to get your opponent in a position where they can no longer they can no longer spend their spirit deck. So effectively, you run them out of cards in their spirit deck. So if the spirit deck goes to 0 and they can't take a single action, you basically like win the game. That's kind of like how you want to think about the game is like, I'm summoning guys, I'm playing back row, I'm playing spells. They all have like their actual correspondent name, which, you know, we can talk about. But yeah, and then you like punch over the opponent's guys, and then, the opponent will like activate their back row or whatever, and then eventually there'll just be like a point where like neither player can like pay for cards, and you know, if you have spirit decks, spirit cards in your spirit deck, and the opponent doesn't, then you win.
Yeah,
that's sick, dude.
Also, game time is around about.
I
was gonna say game time is around about 15 minutes as well. So like some games can be super long and grindy, but like a 15-minute turnaround on games does mean that you can get some pretty quick sprints. Obviously, I don't know if the tournament format is best of 3 or if it's best of 1.
It's best of 3.
Best of 3, yeah. So that's still like a 45-minute round, something that you're used. If you go to like a lot of locals or things like that, a 45-minute kind of like timer. Be expecting it's very you're not expected to be going the long game. Obviously, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh is known for some of its questionable tiebreakers. Hopefully, in most instances, your games won't be going that long, even on like slower decks. So I'm really excited to do this. The fact they've already got organized play as a thing that you can do is really, really solid. So yeah, we're just looking forward to this.
Right now, most of the organized tournament play is through like the sort of like Elestrals, like not Discord, but like it's not like there's like super majors or anything like that. It's basically like there's like big tournaments at some point throughout the month, and it's right now mostly like webcam. There are locals that like support Elestrals, and there are tournaments for Elestrals like in person. But most of the major tournaments are done through webcam play. So if you're familiar with, you know, if you've played Digimon, you've played webcam games.
Yeah.
The other thing is that on the Elestrals YouTube, you'll see that there's something called the Elestriad. And basically what that is something that I want us to be on the next one because it's very, very cool. And A-Drive basically gets all of like the content creators that play Elestrals and gets them to play in a tournament. The winner gets immortalized in the game. So shoutouts to Distant Coder. He was the winner of Elestriad Season 1 and Season 3. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. But he has a card in the game. In the game of Elestrals, there's a card called Distant Coder, and A-Drive also has one.
That's really sick.
That's peak.
So if you win, you get immortalized. Although because Coder won the first one and he won in Season 3, he's getting something else instead. So he's getting, I think, an artifact rune, which is for all intents and purposes an equip spell or like a tool from Pokemon.
Badass.
Yeah, that's really sick. He's just got to get the sweep and just have just like one of every card type for him.
Maybe.
We're sending you as our rep, unless, you know, I'm low-key nice at this game. But we're probably sending you in as like the misplay for game rep.
Sure. Ask questions about Elestrals and then I can tell you like more about it. I don't
what's the deal with the types? Because I know there's like spirits. Like listen, I'm not gonna lie. When we talked about doing this and I learned I've been keeping up with the development because like I believe in indie card games. I think it's important. And then the first thing that I was shown was that basically every mana color has like a little goober. Yes. And one of them is a dinosaur. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm playing a lightning.
Okay. I can explain. So basically, in Elestrals, you have types or colors. If you've played Pokemon, Magic, whatever. Same thing with Digimon, colors, types. So that still applies. So you have water, frost, lightning, earth, fire.
There's wind as well. Wind,
and then there's the 2 chaos attributes, if you want to think about it, light and dark, moon and solar. They are more recent, and as a result, like if you've noticed, Daybreak is sort of like a big shield campaign for Solar, and then coming soon, Moonrise, I think it comes out next year, very early January. It'll be Moonfall or something. I think that's what the set is called. I should open a second tab.
But I dig a lot of the creature guys. Like I like the there's like a card page where you can like just look at the characters and be like, oh wow, look at all this. And there's like the whole Elestrals page.
Yeah. So
big fan. There's some good ones on here. Basically, Imperial is cool. I like that one.
Sorry, it's Moonrise and Daybreak. That's the sets.
Okay.
So as someone was saying about the like guys on effectively your lands are all of like the same name. So like every a good example is every water rune is called Leviathan, right? So all of your waters, they're Leviathans. That's just the name. It's like instead of it being, I don't know, they just basically put a Pikachu on your energy card.
Love it.
Every energy card will be of that name, right? But you can get different artworks of Leviathan. So every set that comes out, you'll get like a different artwork. So you can mix and match, you can pick up the newest one or whatever. That's just basically like adding a Funko Pop to your land.
Love that. DM me Zaptor fan art right now.
Yeah, Zaptor is like the electric guy. Now, for card types, it's pretty simple. You have your creatures or your Elestrals. You have your runes, which are effectively your like spells, and then there's counter runes, which are closer to like trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm going to use a lot of like Yu-Gi-Oh terminology just because like majority of like the content creators are also like Yu-Gi-Oh people, so people kind of have started adapting like a lot of the keywords and stuff just to kind of
familiarize them.
Yeah, exactly. So you have your Elestrals, you have your runes, you have artifacts, which are effectively spell cards, equip cards, tools, or whatever from Pokemon. And then you also have the divine runes, okay? So a divine rune is basically closer to almost like a commander type beat, okay? It's like your deck's like guy, your deck master or whatever, almost. The way they work is that they basically like you put them on the board and they take the space in the back row, and then they will provide you like an effect. So an earth deck will typically play. They all also have like they're all based off of mythology, like Greek mythology. That's the thing about Elestrals. It's like it takes heavy inspiration from mythologies. So, for example, in case of Tom's electric deck or Thunder, you have like Zaptor. That's like your spirits, and then Zeus will be your divine rune.
That's sick.
And then like Zeus has an effect that.
Wait, is there an Apollo for the Sun deck?
Yes.
Oh, y'all! I'll see you guys later. I'm doing this now.
Apollo is like the sun guy. Poseidon, I think Andrew will fuck with Poseidon. He's like the water guy. And they're just basically like your deck masters, almost like they provide you with like different kinds of buffs and contribute to the playstyle. Right now, Elestrals is going through sort of like its growing pains in a sense where it's early card games. So like the most efficient bang for your buck cards are what make up majority of decks, combined with like the best sort of like back row in the game. So if you know like Bottomless Trap Hole from Yu-Gi-Oh, that's one of the one-to-ones to the in the game. Like if the opponent like summons something, you can like get rid of it. They have effectively a not hand trap, but like closer to like a Fiendish Chain, or just like a targeted like negate card. It's just like the opponent attempts to do something, you activate Gorgon's Gaze, and then you like negate it. That's like another pretty powerful rune.
That's closer to Solemn, right?
Yes, almost pretty. Yes, but in the sense that like you're not destroying the card, you're just negating the effect.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Gorgon's Gaze doesn't destroy. Then there's a Shield of Achilles. That's another pretty popular one, closer to like a compulsory evacuation device. Just get rid of the guy and put it in the opponent's hand. But you have to spend extra based on like that guy's like stats. So the bigger the guy, the more of your own resource you have to spend.
Okay, that's cool.
So these cards will basically like make up the bulk of your like defensive lineup, depending on like how leaning you are in terms of combo versus like control or like aggro or whatever. You'll play more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty normal, honestly, for early games to kind of devolve into good stuff piles with like whatever your flavor of top end is. But I mean,
pretty much
early card games are sick for that reason as well.
Exactly. So there are so how do I describe this? So just like Digimon, some of your Elestrals can evolve or ascend, as we call it.
Hell yeah.
So, for example, in the Star decks that Andrew got, the Chronodile one, that is what we call an Ascension line, or like a line,
is he a Sun type?
He's Sun and Water. He's Solar and Water.
Okay.
He's primarily Water with a splash of Solar. And he's basically like almost like a tower. So his whole thing is that he's like an untargetable big asshole. He like sits on the board and he's like your win con.
Hell like, yeah.
You are describing he's Fanglong?
Kind of like Fanglong, yes. But there's outs. So
I'm here.
Right now, a lot of people are gravitating towards like efficient removal decks or whatever. Chronodile gets to exist as like one of the few decks that is like more combo leaning, with the end goal of like, okay, here's my boss monster. Like I kind of win the game.
That's sick. Dude.
All the starter decks are based off of a sort of like Ascension line with like some generic tools. There are starter deck exclusives. Not so much in the more recent ones, but in the first batch of starter decks, there were cards, especially the back row, that you could only really pull from the starter decks. So like for people that, like to buy starter decks as an entry point, Elestrals is perfect because you get rewarded with like staples.
And it's cool that they do have so many different product types. Obviously, we got the 2 starter decks, and then what I did call blisters. There's no I don't see an official thing for like specifically what these are, but there's also like you can get
packs.
Like some like smaller packs that just have like 3 starter cards and like some bonus things. So if you
you get any Shattered Stars?
Yes, that's
okay. So Shattered Stars is almost
There's a monkey?
Yeah, that's the guy for solar. Yeah,
Wait,
I
is
know.
he
It's that
Wukong?
sick.
Is
Yeah, basically kind of like Wukong. Also,
listen,
you're gonna love
guys.
this.
I'm
Solar,
lightning. I'm sun, and I'm fire.
you're
In
gonna love
maybe
this.
sun, lightning, fire in
I'm
that
just
order.
derailing all over the place. But Solar's gimmick is
We're supposed to
basically
be opening some of this, Marcio.
we will. Solar's gimmick is basically scrying. Like, you just like look at the top X and then you profit off of that. So Apollo's thing is that like he scries and then gets a 1-cost solar. Some of your cards, especially in the starter deck, have the effect that if they're scryed, you get to special ascend. So like one of your guys is on the field chilling, and then if you like scry off the top and you like gotcha.
Let's
into,
go
like,
gambling, El
if you got-
Digimon.
Yeah. If you gotcha into the right one, you just get to like effectively special
Oh,
summon or
hell
like
yeah.
play out for free. That's like
Oh.
Solar's thing.
Yes, dude. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
Solar's-
Zap.
That's like Solar's thing. As I was saying, so Shattered Stars, the best way to think about it so people don't get confused and like they go on the shop, you can get it as like a subscription service where A Drive will monthly send to your doorstep packs. And these packs are a collection of alt arts. So like the best of like that month, or depending on the theme, they will all be alt arts. So they'll just take like the good cards and turn them into alt arts, and that's what Shattered Stars is.
Yeah, so
That's
my one
sick.
is for August 2024. My one is the solo one with 3 7-card booster packs, 1 surprise sticker, and an additional promo card. So
Yes.
You have a bunch of these alt art solar cards. No, I'm messing with you.
yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
yeah,
they're doing it so like this upcoming month, I think of December, is based on it's also based on different astrology, so like it'll basically follow the astrology calendar. So
That's
I don't
cool.
know, Capricorn or fucking Taurus
That's
or
me.
whatever the one is that
Capricorn.
December. I think it's Sagittarius or something. It might be, it might not be.
you can
Let
tell
me-
where Marcio's general nerd knowledge runs out, and it's like normal people nerd stuff. He's like, this is like, that's a god or something, a star maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about Shattered Stars. I'm not gonna about like constellations. Yes, okay. Shattered Stars for this month is Sagittarius, so that's basically like all of the Earth cards are getting like rarity bumps. So Shattered Stars is just cool because you can get as a subscription, so every month you just get a few, and the cards are pretty. They're just like they base. Okay, this is like my one gripe with the game. Base art Elestrals is fine. Okay.
Like there's a
it's-
kangaroo. Sorry.
there's a bunch of guys. Base art Elestrals, when Andrew like actually goes through the product and he'll give us like the overview and whatever. Base art is okay, but the alt arts, they're very pretty. Like you get like constellation rares which look sick. There's like obviously just like general rarity upgrades. The alt arts just will look better. That's basically it. So this is important for exactly the fact that like you wanted to play like Zeus and stuff. So there was a recent ban list, and I could tell you about like the intricacies of the ban list and how this impacts the metagame, blah blah blah. Even though I don't play on a competitive level, I got into the game and release very recently. I can just kind of like translate more or less. So with the new ban list, they basically are trying to tone down the power of like generics, because most decks will play like Thunder, as an example, has the best card in the game called Ash Rabbit. Everybody talks about Ash Rabbit. And Ash Rabbit, if you've played Yu-Gi-Oh, is Pot of Duality on a body.
Huh?
Okay? Yeah, you just like summon Ash Rabbit, look at top 3, add 1. Okay? And like the game kind of revolves around Ash Rabbit. That card is still in the game. But there's a bunch of these guys that are kind of like that are like immediately impactful cards. So they hit a bunch of those. And they also hit a card that searches Divine Runes, and it searches them generically. What they're trying to do is get you to play cards that search your like Divine Rune archetypally as opposed to generically. So then decks get to be more focused on like, oh, I'm playing a water deck, I'm going to play the water tools, as opposed to I'm playing a hodgepodge of what's currently the best. That's kind of like what you need to take away from the current Elestrals ban list. But temporarily, Zeus and Demeter, 2 of the Divine Runes, Earth and Thunder, since they have been the best Divine Runes since the game came out, are limited to 1 up
I'm taking a
until
high tier.
Moonrise comes out. Then they'll go back to 3. This is just sort of like an experimental ban list. Like the cards are temporarily on the ban list, so then when things like come out and get settled again, people can go back to cooking.
That's really fair.
Andrew, I cannot wait another moment. Make cardboard appear on your camera, please.
All right, yeah. So I've opened the Shattered Stars because I'm not gonna do like too much of like the main product opening. We might save that for a separate video. Maybe I will get bored on a weekday. But I'll open the 3 Shattered Stars, especially because Marcio said that like the alts go crazy. But like my Chronodial, this is the least camera friendly card of all time.
Did you got an alt Chronodial already?
Yeah.
You get like a stone tablet. Is it the stone tablet one?
Yeah, it's the stone tablet.
That looks so cool.
Yeah, yes. Let me switch to the.
I'll take that off.
Oh, you want this? You want this?
Yeah, I mean, you're playing. Get
in line.
So. Yeah, this looks crazy. So yeah, the
you have the Top Shot for product opening stuff set up?
No, I don't. I wish.
Unfortunate.
And then I have my little sticker, which is
Peak.
Yeah, kind of
dinosaur. A lot of good dinosaurs today.
I also will say the shadow like the plastic they're using for this hella sturdy. Like it feels good. It like Digimon has a very distinct pack feel. This is a different kind of pack feel. I haven't opened any other card games. That's not true. Universe's card stock. I mean, they're not giving me stuff anymore. The Universe's card stock was kind of weird, but everything here is weighty. So we got the man on the box.
Yes. So that what's his name? I forgot his name.
Luminape.
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 Luminape is like your Pikachu energy, basically.
So he Andrew's pulling like a foil Pokemon energy right now.
Yes, that is a Pokemon energy for
That's so sick.
And then we got the goat Sundart. My camera has decided it really actually wants to focus on me. So you will get a
Sundial in your starter deck, which you can immediately rarity upgrade.
That's
Andrew.
Awesome. So wait, is this deck? Is the game like what's the most you can play of a card?
You can play 3 copies of a card.
Got it.
There we go.
Now solar card, yeah, very good. Soul Bell. So this is one of the ones that when you reveal it off of a gacha, you get go
special
into
ascend Soul Bell.
Yeah. So ascending is like the act of like summoning.
Calf Melt, I love that. Oh, dude, this is sick.
So as Andrew is showing different like Elestrals cards, there's a bigger emphasis on like recovery. One of the game's like most powerful cards and probably one of the game's best cards. That is Raster. One of the game's best cards is called Ambrosia, which is just basically you pay 1 to recover 3. And basically games will be heavily favored towards like who sees their Ambrosias and times them
like a hollow foil pattern too.
Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
dude, this is dangerous information. I'm going to NA in like 8 hours.
So the other thing about the game, right, is that like there's no restrictions on your colors. You could play any amount of cards in your deck of different colors. You just have to facilitate them by playing the energies for it. So often people will run like a small electric splash in their decks for extra consistency, since electric has some of the better early game plays. So it's not uncommon for people to play like a water deck that will play like, I don't know, like 5 electric energy, okay? Typically, the more you spread it out, because like it's not like you're drawing the energy, you just have access to it at any point. So you just kind of have to manage it, and there's usually like an almost correct amount for each one, and people just call it boy math for like accounting for the right amount of spirits for your spirit deck.
I have a feeling this is the same.
Yeah, the Shadow Stars. So that's the Altar Apollo.
That's awesome.
So if Apollo like lets you scry stuff and then like take 1-cost solos, I think, if I remember correctly.
It's so sick that they made the whole deck a funny gotcha moment. That's so cool.
But yeah, mostly in Shattered Stars, like you're getting like most of the same stuff and then like a couple like hits. And they're like the game. I don't think the game was like particularly expensive. It has like it's pretty well priced. I would say it's very well priced.
Okay, it's the same.
It's also on TCG Player. I went recently on TCG Player.
Lustragon.
So pause the card right there. Right, hold right. So if you look at the card, it's pretty easy to tell like what it does in terms of like
7 sword and 6 shield.
Right, combat basically works almost 1-for-1 with like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like defense beats attack, and then attack sorry, like whatever the biggest number is, that'll be like the favorable outcome, and then like you can crash into things, you can beat over things. The other thing is that it has like a 2-cost solar. That doesn't mean you can just like pay 2 to summon it. It means that it's almost like a tribute summon, right? Because like you need to have something on the board to then stick around for you to then effectively like ascend into the Lustragon, and then put like another solar. And then there's a bunch of other keywords which I could explain, but there's no point overloading like information. But that's basically like the cards tell you most of the information that you need, and then it's very easy to pick it up.
Yeah, how are we doing with this one, audio listeners? The Spotify stream making a lot of sense right now.
Well, one of the things, I mean, if you watch on Spotify, you probably already watch, I mean, you probably listen on Spotify and watch the content anyway, because we were very blessed to be top 15% of video podcasts on Spotify, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be doing more stuff. I hope you enjoyed the Elestrals kind of like segment. I'll do more Elestral stuff, and we'll kind of just see how it goes on the channel. It might become a mainstay. I don't really believe in splitting into 2 channels personally. So we'll kind of like...
Can't believe we waited until I'm leaving to do this. Now that I'm just gonna be thinking about making a sun monkey for like...
Well, I'm pretty sure your brother ordered...
Your brother has stuff.
Yeah, he ordered his stuff to NA. So I think you're going to be playing Elestrals in NA anyway, and then coming back with an idea of what you want from my pulls.
Yeah, sweet. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Andrew,
I also
I'm
got
gonna keep it a buck with you, fella. I'm picking the red, yellow, and orange colors. Enjoy.
the other thing about Elestrals is like, yes, people can play it like competitively and stuff, but I think the game is really good at like letting people flex their like deck building muscles into like a sort of like win con type scenario.
There's a bear deck.
Yes, the bear deck is very cool. But one of the things that I'm really excited about Elestrals is that like there's a bunch of guys that I just kind of want to like make work, if that makes sense. Like I don't care that much about like competitive Elestrals right now. I want to enjoy it for like its
just
own
a
card
cool
game.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, cool dudes, silly mechanics. Like I want to enjoy like the card game to start off with like in a more casual scenario.
I have just seen Phosphacel. Have you seen this? He's like Flygon. He's like he's like a lightning bug, sun lightning dragon. This is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't had this much fun like looking at designs since like being Pokemon as a kid. Now I look at new Pokemon designs and go, yeah, these are cool. But like this is like one of the first times in a while where I've kind of been like, I get enough of the references to be like, yeah, this is a really cool like creature creator kind of thing. So really solid stuff there. And I mean, yeah, excited to do more.
Andrew has the cards like in hand, and like the art looks like pretty good. Like,
and they credit their artists as well. So
yes, they do credit the artists. Base set stuff is a little bit rougher around the edges because like, you know, the game was coming out and stuff. Most of like the more recent stuff, like the art has been getting a lot better, especially anything with like alt arts, shattered stars. Like those look like really nice. It's really nice eye candy.
A lot of serialized cards. This is cool.
Yes. So there's like a program. I forgot what it's called. Let me see if I can find it.
Collect.Elestrals?
No.
It tracks your collection.
So the registry, right? That's what it is. So basically, some cards are serialized. You guys know serialized. You know, serialized Omnimon or whatever. Some alt arts of cards will be like a finite amount and they are serialized. And basically what you can do is if you go on the registry, you register the number of your alt art and it basically like legitimizes the card. So people know that like this is a legit like serial card. So if you're trading or buying or whatever, like you know that you're not getting scammed because like one, it's on the registry and it's like legit.
That's really, really cool.
This is awesome. Yeah, I'll see you guys in 3 weeks when I've done not enough Digimon testing and a lot more of just memorizing the names of all of the Elestrals.
But yeah, we cannot stress enough.
My brain.
We cannot stress enough. We're a trading card game podcast. Obviously, Digimon's still our main bread and butter. We will be doing Elestrals content whilst still doing Digimon stuff. Elestrals, real cool. Might get super into it. Digimon, I have 25 years of being a fan of Digimon, so like it's never going anywhere.
Yeah, we still haven't made the Gallantmon binder video yet, so until my day is done and my cross is carried, I will be continuing to play Digimon. And
when you show up on Digital Gate Open with your Gallantmon X antibody top, we also got to meet in person as well, getting to see getting to see people that I've like seen their usernames or like use their services. It was so sick to like.
You're not a photo of Alphamon in real life. What the heck?
Really quick. Elestral has a special rule, and if you're from a Magic background, you'll know this, that even though there's a ban list, if you use a starter deck in its entirety, the ban list does not apply to your starter deck.
That is so cool.
So, for example, the Earth starter deck has a card called Earthquake, which is basically like target a thing, pop it, right? That card is currently at 1. The starter deck comes with 2. So as long as you're playing the Earth starter deck with no changes, you're allowed to run 2 Earthquake.
That's really funny.
It's very, very funny because the base set stuff is like incredibly powerful, and the game is like trying to move away from like its initial like set 1. Like the set 1 stuff is just so incredibly good. And despite, you know, there have been a few sets released, like a lot of like the decks are still made up of what is like base set. But, you know, the more the base set stuff gets hit, the better these starter decks are going to get, because like eventually it'll just be like, oh, you know, I'm playing like X amount of like all the good cards. So who knows? Maybe there's a world that people like top an event with like just a starter deck with no changes.
That's sick. Damn, dude, I'm here for it.
But yeah, if you guys have like any more questions about Elestrals, let me know, and I can give you the rundown. But yeah, it's basically like, when you look at it, it's like the cards look like cool little goobers, Funko Pops or whatever. It plays closer to like what people remember about like the nice aspects of Yu-Gi-Oh! It has a resource system. You can flex your deck building muscles. There's like real opportunities for counterplay and like outplay. There's like almost like solidified like deck archetypes, and then there's like enough things for you to like build and create your unique decks and kind of like pick something out. Look, if it looks cool, you can kind of like build around it and like make it work. Very, very cool. Very cool.
All right. Do we want to talk about some of the new stuff that's coming up for Digimon? Because, you know, I think the last time that we did the podcast, they hadn't put Applemon, and like they haven't acknowledged its existence.
I'm still grieving. Yeah, personally, I'm still going through it. Turbulent times. The monkey's paw really curled on that one. Got to go to a cool national-sized event. Got to meet a lot of cool people. Got to do a lot of great stuff. But Gotchmon exists, so my day is ruined. It's how it goes.
He might be cool though. If he's like Justimon, and they're just like, what if he is the delay hate that you've been waiting for ages? There's like, yo, nice training boost scramble, and he just goes. Yeah, but that's Justy, but he only like pops like one at a time. What if like Gotchmon's...
No. You can pop like twice, because
I'm worried about
X antibody.
I'm worried about the apps.
Your X antibody Justy copies the effect of your ace, so you get to pop twice.
Okay, sure, you get to pop twice, but I'm trying to see.
But 3 times.
I'm
worried that the apps are gonna evolve from delay cards, dude. I'm like,
yeah,
it's gonna get gnarly.
I'm worried about that, but I'm kind of also just hoping that he does. I mean, now that we've been messing around with security, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I mean, there's some other ones. I haven't seen the Lichi Galactimon interview, but I'm really excited to see like Owen's deck and like the actual Ghost deck that we're going to be seeing soon from Liberator. Seeing what Cool Boy's up to. Looks like he's going to be Royal Knight support. So I'm really excited to see what like Liberator is going to bring, because I don't think Liberator's missed yet on like any archetype. Yes, Shoto is a criminal, but like the actual decks.
We got over 100% balanced card.
We got over Shoto pretty quick as a region.
Quote me.
Yeah, but like, you know, he's just a business mogul. He's set up this small business, and now he's like global chain, and you can walk into your local 7-Eleven and find Shoto Kazuma.
You won't catch me bad-mouthing Shoto when Arisa hangs out with Setcon and Violet hangs out with the Demon Lords.
Yeah, so the Tamers are going crazy, but like the actual Digimon that they've been putting in these, and like the, hey, you should play the roleplay box, they've been kind of fire every time, especially now that Ice Snow has real support.
Yeah.
I think...
Guys, it was gonna happen.
Toiletmon.
It was gonna happen. It was gonna be Skibbitymon, okay? Like,
I just think there's really cool flavor in that. I was watching Drix and Keeps play recently, and The sec -1 was something that was like, that's a really weird thing to give, but I think like the way they've contextualized of like, yeah, it's really cold, and when you're cold, you really don't want to do much. And when you're trying to, you know, if I'm throwing a punch in the cold, that thing's moving in slow motion. I'm probably worried that I'm gonna break my hand because it's cold as shit. Sec -1 is very, very real in the cold. So I think that it's really funny that Bandai just continuously manages to have lore and then have thematically appropriate effects.
I never thought
glad-
about it that way.
I'm glad they're giving Dark Dragons like baby blitz. That makes me happy. Everything they can do to give me heavy metal Dramon is like a real archetype. Thank you very much.
I don't remember who I spoke to who about this, but it's like, as much as I like the Digimon Liberators, I think it was to Tom yesterday actually. I'm a little bit worried that we're gonna get like too Liberator pilled. Like most of the stuff that will coming out will be like exclusively Liberator, as opposed to like some of the other stuff that we were doing. So much so that like, I can see a world where like, unless you're playing like a Liberator deck, like, you know, most decks will like not be as good as the Liberator decks, and that's something I'm a little bit worried about.
Yeah, man,
well.
the year of Vmon was fun.
Obviously not, but still, that's just like something to think about.
The year of Digimon hasn't ended, bro. You see that pack out?
Yeah, you could. I don't know. I think we give it to Terramon for 12 months straight and see what happens. It might be new and interesting for a change.
The other thing that I'm like hoping it doesn't happen with the introduction of Applemon is an extra deck, or like, you know, like a second deck type beat. You know, like a thing that you tutor creatures or Digimon out from. And I don't really want that to happen. I'm pretty content with the pace of the game right now.
I think we're not in danger of that, because I don't think Bandai wants to make all of their starter deck included playmats obsolete.
Yeah, the other one that's been a big thing right now is that, like, if you've kept up with the reveals, they've been doing like Liberator maybe is the archetype for this now, where like all the Liberator cards are tagged Liberator. We've got Adventure coming out now. We've just had Chronicle released, so like I suspect we're gonna get decks that work with their own archetype, and also you can play them as like franchise soup. So
which is cool,
if you
because
like Digimon Adventure and want to play as an adventure deck where like Ty and Matt and the whole gang save the world, you can do that now. You can just also play Greymon.
That's gonna go sick for like Adventure, and if Adventure 02 isn't, Adventure 02 is still just Adventure Soup's gonna go crazy when you end on
Adventure.
like,
it's gonna be the most pushed deck you've ever seen.
Yeah, when you end on Pally or I don't know, summon
Adventure Paladin mode, and it's like if you have every color in the game in your sources, you win the game.
Or it's just gonna be like you know, when they fight Malamyotismon, they go into the, you know, the Delulu dimension, and you just it's like reverse crossheart. Instead of like, oh, put all the guys under one, it's like you do the thing, turn all your tamers sideways, and it's just like BT13 Omnimunch. Just put one of every free type Digimon that you've got in your trash or something on the board. Who cares?
Yeah.
I think
with the like season types are kind of cool. Well, one, like I'm excited for Adventure just because like Adventure sells. I'm the biggest like shill for selling product like when it comes to Digimon. People, I think like even like earlier this week, somebody in like our locals like test group, not test group, but like in our locals like server where like everybody hangs out, they were saying that like they were basically bad mouthing my cash cow, okay? And they're like, it's always War Greymon. And I'm like, yes, we should be constantly getting War Greymon stuff. War Greymon sells. The reason why you're like, you know, puny little insignificant reference book pixel of a Digimon gets to exist is because of War Greymon, okay? Put some respect on the name. I want more War Greymons, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to there being another War Greymon ace. There's just gonna eventually they're gonna be. It's a shame. I feel like they could eventually put a Greymon in every single color, like a War Greymon. I think technically now we have.
There.
I think we now have a Greymon in every color.
We need a green one.
We don't have a green one.
Oh, because the green Agumon does. Like, I think if you take,
they're all Tyrannomons.
Yeah, because it's like you have an Agumon or Greymon name in every color because the green Agumon kind of fills in the gap.
Snow Agumon. I'm Agumon Imposter. This is Agumon also in yellow.
Yeah.
When are we gonna when are we gonna get Agumon Impasta and he has like a little Italian chef?
Agumons.
No, I just want an Italian Agumon.
Yeah, that would be kind of
That'd be
cool.
good,
I'm
dude.
like,
Well, you know,
Yeah,
there's
drop the pizza.
there's a Santa Agumon. He's like a canon character.
yeah, I was gonna say there's like he has two
There's like,
like
Santa Claus Agumon.
there's
He's a
Santa Claus
different guy than
Agumon. There's homeless Agumon that goes out starting fights. I'll be doing a video on him soon.
Hobo Agumon, that's insane.
Yeah, Hobo
Goes crashing
Agumon,
out,
and then
like-
you've got educated Agumon. And then like fake diploma Agumon. So like he's he's out there getting in the world.
Student debt Gumon.
I mean,
Student-
Vmon's out there being a noodle tycoon. So like, what's to say that
Stimmy
Agumon.
check Vmon versus student debt Agumon.
Student that Agumon moved into like an area in the File Island that didn't get gentrified yet, okay? It's cool to live there. Just
Listen,
you wait
brother.
until Stimmy Vmon shows up with his like remote like job and like, $15 coffee.
and a fidget spinner.
I am
And a fidget spinner.
mega level deep in the 25th anniversary color. Let me tell you, there are no parts of File Island that are not gentrified.
You know what? You know,
Grandma moved in with a hammer.
I forgot about the very funny the very funny Agumon. Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
You know, they're not all made the same. But yeah, I think there's an
That's what it
Agumon or
is.
Greymon in every color.
Except green.
Yeah, like the Agumon is.
Oh,
the
sorry,
green
Agumon
one.
and green himself.
Yeah,
yes.
like if you take out the Agumon, I think with the
There's
we're
a
just missing
Greymon
green.
in white now.
I mean, that's basically wait, what color is the tie? Is it
Black green.
yeah.
Sora is the red one in that starter deck. So it's black,
guess
green, red, yellow, and then
I guess
purple,
we could get a
blue.
black green War Greymon. Ugh, a
Do you think it would be
Greymon
the
that
movie one?
suspends?
Do you think it would be the
That's
movie one, like our war game? Because
disgusting.
like that
No,
is
I don't think so.
because that is Tai Izzy. Like that is the Tai Izzy bromance.
Well, I think we've seen the effect of the card. Like, I think we know what the shtick is. Well, sorry. I think it's available because enough of the card is visible on the little JPEG of the starter deck. But
I see.
I don't think it's been officially revealed because we're getting through BT 19 and 20 right now.
Yes, and
But
some
yeah.
EX8 reveals, of course.
It's been a banger time to like Digimon as a card game though. The LM is out.
Game's dying.
Yeah, game's dying. My bad. Yeah, English reveals coming. It's so crazy to have the English reveals come out same day, man. It just kind of blows my mind. Like the longer I sit with it, the more I'm like, oh, that's nuts. Big fan of the Digimon Axel stuff that's been teased in the last 48
Oh, the
hours.
Chaosmon
Oh yeah,
stuff.
the,
So good.
Chaosmon
So good.
separately, right? Because like yes, these are Chaosmon tools. Like the Lyomon finds Chaosmon and stuff like that, which is sick. But like these are Axel cards. Like Axel is like I know. The only experience I had with Axel as a kid was I knew a guy a couple years older than me in school who had a Digimon Axel Digivice. And it was like, that's sick. That it's like shaped like a it's oh my god, what are those like those like influencer wallets that are like all metal and they like
Ridge
compact-
wallet?
Yeah, it's the Digivice is shaped like a Ridge wallet. Yeah, it looks just like that one.
Damn, when are we getting the Ridge like
hey,
sponsorship,
look,
man?
me and Tom went through a whole thing where we started looking at sponsors. We're gonna go back to that for 2025 because now we have a screenshot that says that we are kind of in numbers that mean stuff that matter.
Yeah, there's
on
also
Spotify.
podcast hosting. We're things
Yeah,
are
you know.
big things for
I want-
Misplay. We're gonna talk about that at the end. Don't
I want
worry.
Aerup, I want Raycons, I want a Ridge wallet, I want
I want to. It's
Manscaped.
I want to
We
do.
can't-
Oh, dude, I cannot
Guys, we
wait to
can't-
shave
you
my
can't
balls.
You can't give this away for free, Marcio. You have to shut up. You can't give this away for free if they're gonna sponsor us.
Dude, I just want to shave my balls with a lawnmower 6.0.
The first Digimon player to ever. Anyway, before we give the cow away with the bottle of milk, we're gonna talk about that stuff soon. Misplay per game, 2K25. You'll see the whole shebang. Digimon is sick this year, fellas. It's been an hour and 50 minutes since we started recording this. This is what happens live on the internet when we don't remember to do a podcast semi-regularly.
We've
is
already
we just,
done
like,
the Elestrals sponsorship.
yeah, the three of us
You missed
don't
it.
like. This is the thing, guys. Like for you, chat, the three of us actually don't hang out in real life, and we're all contractually obligated to do this together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So when we do these live, and we're like, yeah, I guess we had a plan. We just talk for 2 hours instead.
Yeah, we used to do like cliff notes. Now we agree on it like we say a thing and then we reconfirm that that's still the thing 5 minutes
yeah.
before. we will be going back to some of the fun stuff like the game shows next year, where we still have not contacted any guests, but when everyone's centralized in this really cool Discord that is actually, I spent most of my day actually formatting the Discord. The go live notification did not work for me, so I've still got to fix that. But yeah, we're nearly at 3K. If we can get that by the end of the year, big thank you to everyone, because it's really cool. Tell your friends that Digimon and Elestrals might be a thing that's on the channel now. So yeah, if we can hit 3K, maybe it'll be much easier for us to schedule in guests on short notice. Or we'll maybe give them notice. No promises.
Maybe we'll make a calendar instead, Andrew.
Maybe
we'll make a project calendar.
No, both of them can be true at the same time. Like he's gonna be on the pod at some point when he recovers from the plague and the plague DLC.
Oh my god, Yaw's here. Shout outs to Yaw for holding it down. Bro was so good live. He was sick as a dog, but he made it look good and he knew his stuff.
He made a calendar.
Isn't it nice when the commentators just like know the dang game and he's like so sick at it? That's my goat.
He made a calendar for like all the casters and stuff, and I'm like, damn, maybe this Google Calendar stuff is actually pretty useful.
Really good, right?
I'm never going to use it.
That'll be me. When Misplay for Game LLC comes around, it'll be my Google Calendar, and you guys just have to click yes or no.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for the. Marcio's never gonna hit yes. He's gonna be the guy every single time that never confirms if he's coming, and he's gonna show up and he's gonna go, "Oh, what's this guy doing here?" And it's gonna be like a guest that we planned 3 months ago. We're gonna get Shao. We're gonna get Shao on the podcast.
Misplay for Game stats meeting. If Marcio doesn't come through in the next 6 seconds, I'm mailing anthrax at his door.
Like we're gonna have like Shao on the podcast. Me and Tom are gonna be ready. You know, we set up that business link all the way in the thing, and then Marcio's gonna be like, "So what do you do?"
Digidread, I'm leaving the show. I'm leaving the show.
We're going to get Digidread in 2025 for sure.
He's the GOAT. I want Digidread so bad.
I just want to talk to him about his cool cameras and all the cool stuff he makes.
Yeah, I mean, he got a new setup recently. Everyone should follow Digimon
always
Creative.
Nice to everybody.
Yo, Russ Maurer, that's the dream. We're gonna make podcasts. We're gonna get East on again. We're gonna get everyone. If you have a creator that's in the Digimon space that you want to be subjected to 90+ minutes, maybe with bonus content of
Eggman?
stuff.
This is not a joke. Do you think we could get Eggman?
I can message him.
No, but like, would he come through?
Maybe. I'll see.
That'd be sick.
Does he even know what like modern Digimon looks like, or is it going to be like
what's like
for
the
3
biggest,
Dawn?
Like, what's the biggest get we get for Freedom? What's the biggest get we could get, right? Like, do you think, like...
Technically, it's East right now. Because he's been on an official Bandai stream.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have mine. Oh my god. Okay. Guys. You think we could get Yoshi?
Oh!
Yeah!
That was the right answer, Mark.
Yeah, that was...
one. You think we could get Yoshi?
That'd be so sick. I want to. You know what else would be really good on this show? Because it's like with like 40% a show and 60% just talking. We should get Karn EX. That'd be a hit.
Yeah,
he's like
Karn would be good.
He's a card game guy. Digimon Digimon.
If we get Karn EX, he's gonna give us all Digivolution lines. You don't want to know what your Digivolution line looks like, Tom.
I do. It's gonna be awesome. It's just me with like giant biceps.
No, it'll be like you in like, I don't know, a suit in like the corporate ladder. CEO Tom Mon.
Yeah, Calendar Mon. When you don't accept the calendar invite.
Yeah, I mean, let us know. Let us know in like the Spotify comments. Let us know in the YouTube comments. Twitch doesn't have comments, so if you're on Twitch, come over to YouTube when the VOD comes out and leave a comment on who you want to see. If you're on Apple Podcast, thank you. I'm gonna put up with Apple Podcasts for 1 more year, unless it does well. You've got 1 more year, I think, because I've already paid for the annual subscription, so we'll still be on there. But yeah, we're trying to evolve DigiTubers. We're trying to take 3 idiots to Misplay for Game LLC for real.
God, please, I don't ask for much. I just need Yoshi on the podcast.
Yo, Ben.
Oh, Ben. Yeah,
Ben's a great pick. I always feel bad for folks in NA because when we do it, it's like a weekend session for us is like, hey man, you free on like 12:30 on Saturday.
Yeah,
like,
but we're pretty flexible on our stuff. Like, Marcio said that he wants to move the Saturday evening time slot, so maybe next year we'll have a different time slot. We'll just kind of see what works best for us. And obviously, if we have guests, we might be at a criminal time slot. we might be doing another morning podcast if we get East or any of the Japanese folk
Yeah,
on.
what time was it? Because I was in Tokyo, so I have no idea what time we
It was
called
like
you guys.
9.
Yeah, it was like 9.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, you know, we'll figure things out. I'd love to get some of the Korean lot on as well.
Oh heck yeah, dude! Oh, dude, I would.
Yo,
could we
card
get all the
protagonist. Let's get
You know who we
Patty.
should get? This is a shout out because I don't think I've actually talked about his videos on here, like on the show. I love Digidune. I'm kind of obsessed with his like shorts and stuff right now. He's an Australian creator. I've been like, I'm in his YouTube comments like, dude, you're killing it. Love your stuff. If we get him on there, that is both a scheduling miracle because I believe that to be a 10-hour time difference.
Yeah, that's rough.
And also, just like one of the funniest guys in the game. So that would be a hit.
I'd love to get some old like
BB
gone
Dudes
from
as well.
Yeah, I'd also love to get some like gone from Digimon creators. I'd love to talk to like Panda.
Oh yeah, dude.
Beck.
Panda and Risu are like the obvious like we
The
should
thing
get
with
them.
Digipanda and Risu is that they just like are better at our job than them. So like they come on the podcast and then we look like schmucks, which is really great entertainment value, and we should do it at one point. But it's gonna like imagine me and Benedict Wong in the same call. It's like and Tom's here too.
Yeah, we would lock in. We would like up production. It would be like one of the cream de la cremes.
Yeah, I mean our production is still really good for like I think as far as the Digimon podcast, I think we're still like top of production.
It'll be like no fucking around. We lock in.
No, we'll make it like 10 minutes in. Yeah, 10 minutes in, and Marcio's gonna start printing shorts again. Next year, I'm gonna have a short button. Like I'm gonna have a button that finally starts clipping the nonsense we say, so I don't have to troll through a 2-hour VOD to go find it. But yeah, I'd love to get some creators like Meaty Kage's fully gone from the game in terms of creation now. So I'd love to like still get to talk to him. No, his like channel's gone now. Like all videos are gone now.
Oh.
Yeah, so like Meaty Kage's like fully gone from the game. Because he came back. I'd love to still like get to talk to him and just like talk to other Bandai creators, like, and you know, maybe some Elestrals heads. Maybe we'll start networking now. I'm saying. So yeah, we're gonna do a whole lot, and we got a lot of plans. And now that we're done with Utrecht, these 3 people will be in some scripts. We will be in the Google Docs gulag, and we will be writing historian stuff. Because one of our friends that was new to the game or like returning to the game is like, are there any good Digimon history channels? Because like Yu-Gi-Oh has Mega Capital G, it's got like Garrett. There's so many great like historian channels, and Digimon ain't got Pokemon. Shit. So
trust me, I can tell you about those days.
Yeah,
okay.
like,
You guys about Neo
you tell the Google Doc, because it's me writing all of these scripts and Tom writing comment notes, and I need more people writing these if these are ever gonna come out. But you know, this was a good episode. We might record some Boko, we might not. It's a Sunday night. Me and Tom pre-recorded a bunch, so there'll be something about staples coming out for the champions.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's good. Whew. You don't have to do Boko.
Yes, so yeah, I just need to make a thumbnail for that, and then the champions will be getting some bonus content coming out soon. I really hope that the first video is out at the end of January. This will become a project that is much easier
once one exists.
Give me a deck. If you're like, give me like,
you have access to the scripts.
Where?
In the server.
Fine. We'll do this not on the podcast, so nobody says anything that leaks the whole project that we've been working on for 4 months.
More than that. But yeah.
It's December.
Yeah, this has taken far too long. But yeah, we're going to be working on some stuff.
Like a year.
Digital Gate Open, you'll be finding out about it very soon, because we will be heavily relying on your assistance from a point. This might end up turning into a big team, which is why Misplay for the game LLC to the moon.
To the moon.
But
all right,
fellas, it's been a while since we got to do the last one. We sound it off the way we always do.
You don't even have to say anything.
Follow if you guys have been watching live here on the internet. Thank you very much for doing that. We appreciate the heck out of you. Chances are you've been watching it live on the internet on YouTube or Twitch on youtube.com/KNTLXR or twitch.tv/KNTLXR. Consider subscribing on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free to do so. It's the holidays. Maybe you're like subscription that your uncle buys you for a year of Twitch Premium. I don't know what Twitch Premium is called.
That is a very specific thing that I think only happens to you.
My uncle used to actually hook me up. He used to buy my Nintendo Online subscription every year. He was the homie. Shouts to Simon. Anyway, yeah, I'm talking about my uncle. If you're on Twitch, consider subscribing on Twitch. It helps, goes a long way. Andrew says all your names and stuff. It's nice.
It lights up the logo. It's cool. I put too much work into
check
that.
us out on the YouTube membership. Champions get access to bonus content a month before the rest of the internet.
And Ultimates will be getting the new project at least a week earlier than everyone else, because I don't know that I can afford to keep it hiding for a month in case more stuff comes out.
Yeah, so you'll have that, and that'll be cool. Yeah, that's Twitch and YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. It's Misplay for Game. You can find us just like that. The logo is the little charming icon right next to me over here. So you'll know you found it because you saw that. Thanks to everybody who's listened on Spotify this year. Like Andrew said, we were 15%. We were in the top 15% of most viewed video podcasts, which was awesome. We had 14 different countries where people had watched, which was crazy. So we appreciate the heck out of you all. In terms of other shout outs,
we have Apple Podcasts as well. If you use that, give it a go. Let me know if it's nice on there. That is strictly audio. So for those of you that rely on audio, let us know how audio friendly a podcast we are. We try and do our best, but we try. We are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Let me see. There are other plugs. We had other plugs. Keep an eye. All of us, we haven't plugged our own stuff in a while. Andrew, what's your Twitter? Are any of us on Blue Sky?
I'm on Blue Sky now.
I have my account, but I haven't used it.
I haven't started.
Yeah.
And every day I'm closer and closer. If I have another, like, I don't know, check how amazing this compilation of power washing is, followed by a bunch of bots in the comments, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, it might happen. But yeah, follow us, find our social medias. They're in basically every podcast episode description, kind of in perpetuity. But it's KBeads, Tommy NT, and Elixir on Twitch, or actually on Twitter. Follow us there. Misplay for Game is on TikTok. I know it's December, but depending on how you look at it, the U.S. government executive branch is changing, and with that, maybe a TikTok ban might not happen. So follow us on TikTok. It's Misplay for Game Pod. So keep us an eye on there. Is there other stuff we were supposed to plug? I feel like, we missed 3 weeks. There's a lot of things. Keep an eye on the social medias, because information about maybe the 2025 attempt at the Misplay for Game product tournament of some description is coming soon. It's something Andrew and I have been kind of chipping away at. We're talking to venues. MCR DTCG still exists. I have an Adobe account, and then got busy with work and the holidays. So that'll be back. We'll maybe do some marketing on there to be like, hey, here's all the profiles. He didn't get to plug it last time he was on. Want to say also shout outs to Mr. Terrence Markham. For his deck profile. Keep an eye out soon. What's it called?
At PGSC TCG?
Yeah, PGSC DCG. TCG, excuse me, not DTCG. That's just my brain fully autofilling there. His profile's coming out soon, so keep an eye on that.
Big thank you to Elestrals for taking a chance on us and being like the first product that's not a sponsor, but first guys to send us something cool for the actual podcast. And it means a lot to get to do something like this. So yeah, hopefully this will be the start of crazy upward momentum for the podcast and the content, and I hope people enjoy things that we do that aren't me talking over questionably on track gaming footage. But yeah, this is fun as always. We might get to do an episode next week, or it might be see you in the new year. Tom's obviously out of the country, Christmas and New Year time, but hopefully we'll be back so people have something to listen to. Thank you to all of our viewers for the entire year. It's been a crazy year. We left the country and made connections with. I got to speak to the English producer, and she has.
We ran a tournament.
We ran a tournament. I topped the top 100 in 2 events, and now the English producer has a picture of my YouTube channel. So, who knows where that goes? But yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, it's the thing that we do now where we don't record bonus content because Marcia is gonna despawn.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.